The capital of California was alive with activity during the first part of the 20th century. There was active trade on the docks of the Sacramento River to the west, and a downtown bustling with pedestrian, horse, rail, and automotive traffic during the day. By night, the city offered most of the entertainment available in other metropolitan areas of comparable size. Dozens of saloons and taverns fronted every street in a business and retail district that offered all the goods a thriving port could handle. There is also a long-established tradition of stage entertainment in Sacramento's history going back to the Acme Theater in 1849. Beginning in 1889, the Clooney was Sacramento's established destination for quality entertainment and remained so until the early 1920s. Smaller theaters catered to different tastes and levels of entertainment where customers would likely find animal acts and soliloquies from Shakespeare on the same stage. There were plenty of outdoor attractions to pursue as well. But the working public craved new amusements and diversions that they could enjoy and understand even with limited experience with the English language, and exciting new inventions were making the rounds of major cities. There was a new business in town and Mike Smith wanted to get in on it. He had managed livery stables in Sacramento since the 1870s and now had his own on 7th Street between K and L, but it was dirty work and there was lots of competition. Several blocks up the street, the Casino Theater had opened in 1901 to good business, and the Edison kinetoscope machines that showed moving pictures for coins had proved popular, so Smith decided to use part of his stable to set up a similar operation, the Acme Theater at 11157 7th Street, and hoped the smell wouldn't stop the curious from paying their nickels.
Former Sacramentan is dead in Chicago, October 8, 1958. Word was received here yesterday of the death in Chicago, Illinois, of T. Lawrence Smith, member of an early-day Sacramento family. Smith died Tuesday night. He was 64. Son of the late Mike Smith, who founded a livery stable in Sacramento in the 1870s, Smith's father first started the business at 7th and L Streets on the site of the Milner Hotel. He later owned the Acme building, which housed Sacramento's second Nickelodeon theater.
It's not certain where the first motion pictures were exhibited in Sacramento, whether they were projected against an outside wall or on a sheet in a public hall. But theaters eventually replaced amusements in the city directories, and by the time the 1902 edition came out, the Novelty and Unique appeared, both of them advertising moving pictures, the Novelty stressing their fare was strictly moral and offering a special 5-cent admission charge for children in the afternoon. Some of the theaters exhibiting a general bill of live and filmed entertainment chose the latter, and Sacramento joined the towns across America that embraced the new entertainment, an exhibitor's dream. The product never left the establishment, only a few employees were required, and the audience changed every half hour or so as long as the doors stayed open. They were known as nickelodeons, and beginning around 1905 they gained wide acceptance across the states, began to draw the attention and criticism of the established press, who found them crowded, uncomfortable, and uncouth, though those attuned to the change in popular culture referred to them as the Academy of the Working Man. Across the state and the country, they magically appeared in vacant stores, halls, or any place that could hold enough chairs for an audience and the tools of the trade. Projector, screen, piano, slideshows, displays, posters, and refreshments. The Nickelodeon was the jumping-off point for what had become the grand movie palaces of the 1920s. Within a few years of their appearance across the country, specialty houses featuring new gadgets and gizmos sprang up in competition.
2 theaters inaugurate new art of talking movies. Sacramento, October 7th, 1908. Talking and moving pictures are the latest. The effect is obtained by the combination of moving photographs and working phonographs, and the sounds are calculated to be in harmony with the action. 2 Sacramento establishments, the Lyric on 6th Street and the Chronophone on K Street near 5th, started the new sort of show almost simultaneously. At the Lyric yesterday afternoon, the program consisted of 5 selections, a couple of the familiar kind of silent moving pictures and a number rendered by a singer. In the case of the singing pictures, phonograph and photographs were in almost startlingly accurate harmony, save in one instance. The exception was a whistling duet between a man and a soubrette. The picture man started a few seconds later than the phonograph man, and the remarkable spectacle was presented of the two picture performers whistling with their mouths wide open and singing with the lips tightly puckered. But no such discrepancy attended the remainder of the exhibition. A drinking song by two men was offered in which action perfectly suited sound, and so it was with a duet of brigands from Stradella, a love duet from Laird's new opera, The Man with Three Wives, and a Negro song and Cakewalk with a chorus. It costs twice as much to enjoy the singing pictures as the silent sort, but then they sound twice as loud, and there's always the fun of watching for a discrepancy between photo and phono operators.
The loose production methods employed by early movie makers changed as attendance figures continued to rise and competition increased. The motion picture theater business continued to grow in the city of Sacramento and its affluent neighbor, Oak Park, where the rail lines ended, and the Oak Park, Gaiety, Mickley, Princess, and Victor theaters on 35th were within easy walking distance. A major part of this growth can be attributed to the rise of this system, which catapulted moderate to medium talents from the stage to major stars of the screen. Like the industry itself, many performers whose names are still known today fabricated or reinvented themselves, often stepping into work they'd never done before. New theaters continued to open, some changed names, many offered trinkets or novelty giveaways to ensure regular attendance. Movie houses in Sacramento edged closer to motion picture palaces. The Goddard at 519 J Street boasted a $100,000 price tag when it opened in 1917. The Capitol at 615 K seated a little over 1,000 customers when it opened in 1923. And the California in Oak Park held 1,150 film fans when it opened its doors in 1925. Hundreds of production companies churned out scores of new movies each week, feature-length films as well as short comedies, westerns, and newsreels to feed an ever-increasing need for miles of celluloid, inflammable nitrate in most cases, to splash on theater screens. The Senator, also known as the Fox-Senator, was Sacramento's showcase cinema when it opened in 1924 and it remained downtown's greatest movie house for decades. Built for a staggering $750,000, the Fox had entrances on both K and L streets. There was balcony seating, an orchestra pit, even dressing rooms for the live performers. Lines often extended a block or more, and it became a favorite rendezvous for students who were dating or socializing. It was enormous, it was ornate, and it was the best place for stage and screen entertainment. In the mid-1920s, Sacramento experienced a period of growth unmatched for many years that produced the New Elks Temple, YWCA building, Sacramento Junior College, the electric station at 12th and H, Pacific Telephone Building, Fremont Presbyterian Church, and Memorial Auditorium. By 1926, word was circulating about a new movie theater going up on the edge of town just beyond 30th Street. The story was that it would cost $1 million and rival any movie house in the state. It was to be named after a building from another part of the world, something like the Granada? All of the colorful posters shown in this film were actually used in Sacramento movie houses in the early 1920s. They ended their long run at the Folsom Theater. Apparently they had been taken home by an employee, and when construction was done in a kitchen in the late 1980s, they were discovered underneath the flooring where they'd been used to absorb the glue between layers of linoleum. Some were in fragments, some were in tatters, some were magnificent.